Ooh, it's actually a little bit cold here in Florida, so I'm cosplaying as Ethan Klein for a day. I'm just letting you guys know that I have more plans to do entertainment-related content a little bit for this channel for the foreseeable future. I think I'm going to be taking a break, kind of a hiatus from politics, partially because I've been spending a lot more of my time doing like 4 fucking hour-long discussions of politics on the SJW Ultra Degeneracy stream. Here's another shill for Privilegier Sheevlord's channel. That's why I plan on doing more of my political rants, and you might consider migrating over there if that's all you want from me. And you've always known that this is sort of a whatever the fuck I want to talk about and for whatever reason channel. But the song is really going to remain the same here. Same as I was when I was an atheist channel, same as a politics channel, even if I shift over to entertainment. This is always going to be common sense, talking about the people who have none, talking about people who are acting against their own interests, sabotaging cultures, sabotaging communities, and just causing unnecessary harm to things, and then, you know, eating shit and then asking for seconds. You know, that's why I've been talking a lot about movies lately, why I've been talking about video games. And just as a short aside, you'll notice that I'm probably going to avoid low-hanging fruit. I might be singing the praise of shit you've never watched and never played. I might be shitting on stuff that's candidates for Game of the Year. Part of the reason why I've talked a lot when it comes to video games recently about, say, God of War and Red Dead Redemption 2 is because those are being hailed as 10 out of 10s when they are not that good. They are not what I think is the epitome of what the industry can do. They are not the golden standard. They're the silver standard at best. So if you want me to talk about something like Fallout 76, the day that I heard that it was released, you know, I saw it on like a young ass channel that somebody leaked that I think it might have even been that Jason Schreier asshole said that Fallout 76 was going to be an online multiplayer Rust-like survival game. And I went, it will be shit. I'm a Bethesda fanboy who, you know, I recognize that there's not a Bethesda title outside of maybe Oblivion that I would give even close to a 10. But I love those games, even though they're severely flawed and aren't glorious paragons of gaming. They're just have tons of replay value and player choice, which is what I value most in games. But you're also, just because they meet my favorite conditions doesn't mean I'm going to give games a 10. I like games like God of War 4, and I really like games like Red Dead Redemption 2, and yet you're looking at games that I gave a 7.5 to God of War 4, and I'll probably give no better than an 8 once I'm finished with Red Dead Redemption 2, because I know they can do better, because there's glaring flaws that there's no reason why they should have gotten through playtesting in those games. And Red Dead Redemption 2 might even end up having a lower score than God of War 4 because it has worse flaws. But not to go too far into those, just look at Fallout 76. This is a game that it was obvious it was going to be shit. Not because I'm a pessimist, not because I'm a hater, but because it was common sense. We knew Bethesda couldn't pull it off. And the only surprise is not that Bethesda fucked up. The surprise was how apocalyptically badly they fucked up. They fucked up beyond what anybody could have fucking imagined. Put EA to shame. But the thing was, the people who defended that game were retarded. And the people who bought that game. Look, if you're not a reviewer or somebody with a personal responsibility to people and you bought that game, you're an idiot. There's a lot of reviewers I really respect, admire, and love and watch that say a line like this. Take The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi is objectively trash. It's okay to like trash. It's okay to like The Last Jedi. Just know that it's objectively trash. There's nothing you can say that can objectively explain The Last Jedi as a good movie. It's impossible, because it's literally one of the worst movies ever made. But I am not that guy. I am not that gentleman. I will say, with all honesty, and look you in the eyes and say, if you like The Last Jedi, if you bought Fallout 76, that says something about you as a person. That says something about your character. Says something about you that is not excusable that you should answer for, that you should have somebody who has the nerve to look you in the eye and say, if you like The Last Jedi, you're a bad person. You really are. If you like Marvel Comics, you're a bad person. You really fucking are. What you're looking at with those two examples are acts of cultural sabotage. Literally, people deliberately trying to destroy the intellectual property and telling you in no uncertain terms that they are literally trying to do that. They're telling you to your face, I am sabotaging and terraforming this industry like I'm General Zod in Man of Steel. This is not planet Earth anymore. This is Krypton, nigger. Yeah, that's what they're doing. And people excuse that. It's no excuse. And it, in fact, says something rather terrible about you as a person if you like that shit. And I will tell it to your fucking face. And when it comes to Fallout 76, that at the very least says that you're extremely naive, that you're extremely fucking gullible, that you are a sheep, that you are a fucking mark. Nobody should have bought that game. And the great thing is, even in an industry full of retard fanboys, a lot of people didn't buy it at all. It wasn't just that a bunch of people bought it and were furious with what it was. There was a bunch of people who knew what was coming, and I am proud of that. And I want to do my little part, my little drop in the ocean, to help move that process along. You deserve better. You don't just deserve better than Fallout 76. You don't just deserve better than EA Star Wars Battlefront 2. You don't just deserve better than Star Wars The Last Jedi. You deserve better than Quentin Tarantino movies. You deserve better than God of War 4 and Red Dead Redemption 2. You can get better. You deserve better. This industry should give you better, and until it does, I'm going to complain. And if you buy shit like Fallout 76, you're part of the problem. If you call games like Red Dead Redemption 2 a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, you're part of the problem. It's time to get away from the IGN land of everything's either a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, or 10 out of 10. 6 through 0 doesn't even exist. It's time to get out of Roger Ebert everything's 3.5 stars land. That game is over. It's time to say that 5 is mediocre, below 5 is garbage, and above 5 is at least something good. So when I give God of War 4, which had just infinite dick suckers raining upon it, and I said that the story is not as good as you say it is, that it's basically a canoeing simulator, and that there's endless hours of a piss-poor story told purely through expository dialogue delivered on a boat. I'm on a boat. Yeah, that's not okay. And if I give that game a 7 out of 10, that's not to say it's bad, because it's not. It's just not enough to be Game of the Year. It's not enough to be a 10 out of 10. It's not enough to be heralded as a masterpiece, because it's not. It's a step in the right direction. It's a piece of quality merchandise in a field of worthless detritus. And it doesn't make it a 10 out of 10 just because compared to the trash amongst it, it's gold. We don't do this by comparison shit. We're doing, what do we deserve? What can we get? What is actually worth being heralded? What is actually worth being praised and lauded? And what is just like, hey, good job, gold stamp. We can get this nuance back. We really can. And no matter what I'm talking about, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Just some common fucking sense.